Hi, Zillionaires, and how are you doing? And how is everything today? Been a wonderful day, and I want to welcome you to this masterclass. My name is Dr. Julius Oluwasegun Aroba, and I'll be speaking to you in this masterclass about 11 ways to creativity. In every human being, there are ways that one needs to be able to determine what that creativity has been. In the words of the wise sayings, it said creativity is the beginning of greatness. Now, what are the 11 ways for you to be able to find that creativity to become a novel or a laurel or a genius? Number one is to find what energizes your interest. What is that thing? What is that niche? What is that passion? What is that purpose that you have actually been created for you to be able to discover your interest in this time and age? That's number one. Number two is that you've got to have what I call constant meditation and reflection. Most people in this day and age, because it's a very fast-paced world, in the world of artificial intelligence, most do not have time to be able to look at how to meditate and reflect. The best time to meditate, it's that 30 minutes of the time you woke up from sleep in the morning. Or perhaps if you are a nighter or nighter like me, because my day normally starts during 6 p.m. in the evening. Whereas some are actually going to bed around that period. But one of my most creative time is around 10, 12 a.m. in the morning. But the question here is, what is that thing that gives you the drives, that helps you to be able to discover yourself? When you are if you are living in an environment that is full of people, noise, you might not be able to find the time to meditate. Meditation and reflections helps you to be able to discover who you are. Number 3 ways is creative experimentation. For every human being God created, when you are on a journey to be able to create wealth or to discover yourself or to find your purpose, you've got to imagine it, you've got to dream it, and you've got to put it into experimentation. There is nothing bad in you failing. Just like I always say in our masterclass, the word fail is first attempt in learning, F-A-I-L. If you don't experiment, you cannot discover what God has designed in you. You've got to be creative in your experimentation. Number 4 is get enough sleep. I know in the days and age where we're in, lots of people always say do not sleep, because while they're sleeping, some are making money, or while you're running ahead of time, some are sleeping, some are doing this. But friends, fellow zillionaires and millionaires out there, entrepreneurs, creative mindsets, I want you to know that sleep is one of the major ingredients that can help you to recalibrate your mind. Sleep is very, very important. Number 5 is that once a week, always find a time to retreat. To find once a week in that 7 days you've got, find a time of a week to treat yourself. Pamper yourself. Maybe you might actually take yourself on a date. Perhaps you've got to look for something that you can treat yourself to, maybe that makes you, some say if they take a glass of wine, some say maybe they go for leisure, or some say they watch football, or some say just find a treat once a week for yourself, because it is part of those things that helps you to rejuvenate within you. Or perhaps you might actually go for what I call spa, or maybe you go on an adventure or something like that. It helps you while you're chasing those creativity, those entrepreneur businesses, those career work that you do in various areas. It is very important for you to always find a weak trait. Number 6 is time with nature as benefit. Now, what do I mean by that number 6 points? When you are within the serene environment that is enclosed with trees, with waters, with nature, it helps you to become more glow, because the sound of those trees, the sound from the water, perhaps maybe at the beach, helps to gives you a time to be able to know how important you are, because you are created to be able to dominate, to be able to be in charge, to be able to be in control, to be able to know how to be having time with yourself. And I call it a me time with benefit. Number 7 is a fun hobby that is needed. Look for an hobby for what is needed within your environment and make sure you work towards that hobby. Let it rejuvenate you. Like for example, for myself, I like to play golf. I go for golfing. On the golfing range, the far I shoot or the perfect turns that I take, or perhaps if it's in the course with the team, it gives me a lot of joy when you're able to hit the hole at the right time, putting the right balls, when you're actually putting the balls in the right places. But for you, I don't know, it might be swimming, it might be reading, it might be traveling. Discover what your fun hobby is. Because as you sojourn on this world creation or self-discovering purpose of yourself, you do need this because they're very important. Number 8 is exercise your mind with daily inspirational quotes. Now, when you wake up in the morning, when you're having your meditation or after your meditation, say positive affirmation to yourself. There is a book that is about positive affirmation, which I normally do it a year book, but you can actually look for quotes that resonate with you. Some religious folks normally use biblical verses and they go through it, and some look at quotes, or some listen to motivational speaker or motivational inspirations. But you've got to look for how to exercise your mind so that you can meditate, you can reflect, and you can get an inspiration. It is one of those immune booster on the wealth creation journey. Number 9, some Christians or some Muslims or some religious people normally say that yoga is actually not from a point of existence. But I want to tell you, being a constant position of yoga, daily exercise can actually help you. For myself personally, yoga is not part of what I do, but I always take a position. I always make sure I find time to be able to practice, do one exercise or the other, maybe stretching for a while, that I can be able to rediscover and also make my nerves, my muscles comes into play and shape. Because if you don't exercise that muscles, your creativity might not come from the inner place. Number 10, it's everyday reading. Now, just like we normally say in the Zillionaires Club, that your learning capacity is synonymous to your earning capacity. I know you're so busy, you're so occupied. Be it any profession, you've got to study. My holy book said that study to show yourself approved, and a workman that needed not to be ashamed. Because you can't give what you don't have. You've got to read and unlearn and learn constantly. By doing this, you'll be able to find what I call the niche in exercising your brain. The number 11 is what I call learn the click model. C-L-I-C-K. Click model. Learn to click on daily basis. How do you click? Click has to do with life, has to do with workplace, has to do with effectiveness, and you looking at the model. The word click. C is for challenge. L is for learning. I is for innovating, and C is for change, and the last K, which is no. You've got to challenge yourself. You've got to know what is that niche, what is that inspiration that can help you to be able to challenge, to be able to learn, to be able to innovate, and see how you can constantly change in a rapid world. And when you do this, you'll be able to know, and that is where the click model. I do believe that in this masterclass today, you've been able to learn 11 ways of self-discovery and also self-living within your creativity within you. On the last note, I will leave you with this quote, which says that creativity is thinking up new things, innovation is doing new things, according to the word of Theodore Levitt. I hope you've actually been able to learn about 11 ways of creativity within you. Once again, thank you for listening, for watching, for sharing this video within your community. My name is Dr. Julius Oluwasegun Aroba. I'm your mind, wealth, career surgeon. And I can't wait to see you again in our next masterclass. God bless you.